Quite often I get asked, how is it possible to practice kindness in a school regime that's all about being strict? Well, the first thing that you need to do is you need to worry about yourself and think about yourself, your own values, your own approach. This isn't all about being maverick and rebelling against a school system, because if the school system that's in place is something that you can't believe in and you don't believe in, the best way to deal with that is to look for another school and to move. However, what you can do is you can think about your own practice, you can think about your own relationships, and you can think about your own relational practice in the context of that wider school and those wider school policies. If you do have strict policies in place that mean that children experience what you could be perceived as harsh punishments, really harsh punishments, then you can help these children by using relational practice. So these children you work with don't need to fall into a cycle of perpetual detentions, isolations, and exclusions. They may need your help. Making emotional connections with your kids is vital. These connections allow you to work together so that you don't need to use the strict regimes that are set out in the school policies. See yourself as a translator. You're looking to translate the behaviour into the emotions and feelings that sit underneath. Understand the emotions and feelings and deal with them. That prevents the unwanted behaviour, and therefore there's no need for the strict punishments that are in place and expected. Children need to be understood. This is the neuroscience that sits behind it. They're looking to make an emotional connection, and sometimes as teachers and staff in schools, what we sometimes do is we get tied up with that academic connection. We want the children to come into our class and immediately make that academic connection, when actually what they're doing is looking for an emotional connection. So what you've got to do as a teacher is you've got to think about both. Yes, of course we need an academic connection, but we also need the emotional connection too, because that's what the children are looking for. That emotional connection allows them to build their self-esteem, and that's really, really important, building their self-esteem, because without self-esteem, they can't be confident, and they need to be confident when they're in your class. So when they're confident, that's when they start to behave. They're emotionally engaged. They're emotionally engaged with you, and they're emotionally engaged with their surroundings. And in the broadest sense of the term, they feel loved. And when they're in that position where they feel loved, that's when the learning happens. And what we're looking at really simply is, if you're wanting to make changes to behaviour and you're wanting those children to behave with you in your classes, then that emotional connection is really, really vital. And you could really say that the best way to understand it is make the connection before you make any correction.